Hey, what's up guys? It's Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Hey, hope you guys are having a great day. Hey, really quick, it's the end of Monday here. Just I got done cutting grass and doing the whole deal, and oh, look at me, I'm actually dirty. So for everybody who thinks I'm an actor, we are actors. We're actors on this channel, okay? But you know what? We do get dirty. Even actors get dirty, okay? Tom Cruise style, right? I do my own stunts, all right? Anyway, just having fun. Hey, I got a really quick topic I want to talk to you guys for just a few minutes here. An FAQ type of video, something that I've been seeing a lot more of lately, and that is talking about sprinklers, busted sprinkler heads, who takes responsibility if you happen to damage a head, how to replace sprinkler heads. I got a bunch of little thoughts I've accumulated over the last few years that I want to share with you guys. So let's check it out right here, right now.
Make the ground shake.
All right, so what's up guys, it's Brian here. Hey, sorry for the sunglasses, it's getting pretty bright outside and I don't want to be squinting in the video the whole time. So a lot of you guys have been asking questions about irrigation and sprinklers and you know, everybody, as you guys can imagine, it's July, right? The lawns are starting to dry up a little bit, so customers are jacking up their watering levels and their watering times, and we're finding a lot more turning on of sprinkler systems, which is good, which is great, helps us stay mowing, right? Especially in those subdivision lawns. But my friend Brett's Property Services on Instagram. He's a buddy of mine. He cuts grass right where I'm at. He proposed just a question to me. He had a customer reach out to him. And basically, just really simply, Brett had lopped off a sprinkler head. Happens all the time, okay? And the guy was like wondering if it was how Brett's gonna take care of it, right? And it's just really simple. I wanna help you guys out. Just some attitude, some mindset, and just, again, my accumulated knowledge was, what are you gonna do with a busted sprinkler head? Now, a sprinkler system, an irrigation system, it is an entirely different thing than mowing grass. Now, it is a very simple service for a lot of us to carry a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket with a bunch of parts, and all of you guys have been there, done that, right? We got rotary heads and mist heads and 3/4 inch pipe and 1 inch pipe and 1/2 inch pipe, and do, you know, blow torches and the whole deal, right? The little can ones, whatever you call them, right? And it's not that hard to replace a sprinkler. In fact, I'll leave a card somewhere. I did an old video teaching you how to replace a sprinkler head, so if you ever want to go reference that, it'll definitely help you out. But the question Brett was proposing, and I've seen get asked a lot, in fact I've asked that question a lot, was who's responsible for a lopped off head, a chopped off sprinkler head? And I'll tell you guys straight up, I always put that back on the customer, and here's why. That sprinkler system needs to operate in the correct fashion, the correct manner. It needs to compress. Now, if my mower hits it, it's unfortunate. I'm apologetic. Again, I'm always trying to work with my customers, and this is where reading like people skill books and learning how to just communicate to customers, and quite honestly guys, like role playing as you go down the road, talk, like figure out what you're gonna say, get scripts and all this kind of stuff. This is what I've done with my business for a long time, is how do I talk to customers? Because whether it's text or phone call, you can make a really neutral situation go downhill really quick if you don't handle it with the proper communication and people skills. And so Brett actually, and Brett, hopefully if you're watching this video, hopefully you don't mind me sharing this story, right? But Brett, you know, he knew how to handle it, but he was like, hey, what would you say? And we were texting back and forth, and I basically said, to the customer, I said, hey, unfortunately your irrigation system wasn't operating correctly. The head didn't compress back in, it didn't suck back in. Although we did hit it with the lawnmower, unfortunately, it is not our responsibility to make sure that the irrigation system is running correctly. And so that's the question I have for you guys, is who takes responsibility? Do you guys put it on the customer to have that head replaced, or do you guys, in good faith, maybe it's an extra credit thing, do you guys replace the sprinkler heads? Now, you know, here's the deal. It can get kind of expensive replacing sprinkler heads. Like some sprinkler heads are 7, 12, 15 bucks. I'm always curious where you guys pick yours up. For us, it's a Irrigation Site 1 type of store, just right down the road, about 20 minutes away from where I live. Here's the deal. If that sprinkler system doesn't compress back in, or here's what you really find is that a lot of folks have their sprinkler system running, like when you pull up to a lawn and we're trying to zip around it, and sometimes we just get unlucky where a zone might have just got done and a head was left up and we just lopped it off, usually they all compress back in. I want to show you guys just a quick little shot here that if you ever run into a lawn that is being irrigated and watered, you can just go to the main valve and you can just literally turn that little blue knob. Either one is fine. It's not going to mess up the timing. It's not going to mess up the pressure, anything of the sort. This is a tip that I picked up way back in the day when I was working at TruGreen, is you can turn that little knob and you can have the water shut off for the 10 or 15 minutes while you're at the property. The sprinkler system is still going to cycle through, but at least you can cut that lawn if you happen to drove, 5, 10, 20 minutes down the road to your client. At least you don't have to double back. The second thing I'll tell you guys is try to work with your customers to make sure that you let them know what your regular mowing day is, so they don't have the lawn getting irrigated that day. Or if they do, have it at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., right? So you can always adjust on the module, the irrigation control box, really simply just turning the dial, getting it on the day that you mow. Let's say it's a Monday or a Tuesday, and just hitting the program up or the program down button. It's really simple stuff. And that way, let's say that they have their lawn getting watered 4 or 5 days a week and your regular cut for them is on Tuesday, they don't have the lawn started, the irrigation system started on a Tuesday. So again, when you cut grass with stuff, something I've always tried to encourage you guys, and this is what I do at least, is that you're in business with these folks. It's a relationship. It's not just cut the lawn and go. You can consult them and you can coach them a little bit on irrigation, fertilization, pet waste, right? It's a two-way street, man. It's just, I work with all of my customers and I always offer, and I don't really charge folks to adjust the box really. Usually if it's a startup or a blowout, most sprinkler guys will do that. But if I notice that a new customer, I pick them up and it's a Wednesday and I notice that the irrigation heads are all popped up and left up, maybe some of them don't compress because they were operating that morning, then I will reach out to that customer and say, hey, next time I'm swinging by, I noticed that your wife's always home, the garage door's open. You mind if I bop into the garage, just adjust the thing, and I'll just make sure that I take off Wednesdays for your mowing day, for your irrigation. And they always say, yeah, sure, go ahead. I never really mess with that thing anyway. So one thing I'd always encourage you guys is try to work with the customer to adjust the times. You can always do a little cheat method with adjusting the valve on the outside where the backflow preventer is and turning off the sprinkler system. But in most cases, guys, just to answer the question that a lot of you get, do we take responsibility for sprinkler heads? My simple answer is no. That irrigation system and the heads need to adjust correctly. Sometimes you see them above ground, right? Sometimes the rotary ones are sticking out too far. They need to be, also, here's another big one with edging, sometimes the heads are have you guys ever experienced this? The heads are resting against the cement. That's not how they should be installed. They should be about 1 inch into the grass, maybe a 1/2 inch, not a lot, but that way that when we edge those sidewalks and driveways, we don't clip them and boom, they eject out 10 feet into the air. And of course, 10 minutes later, I swear to God, it always happens. 10 minutes later, the sprinkler system turns on, right? And there's a geyser. Or when you come back later that night, because you're cutting grass till 7 o'clock at night, you see this system going through its cycle and there's a geyser on the sidewalk and you're like, oh no. And you're just counting down the moments until you get a phone call, right? So anyway, I'll try to leave a link, like I said, in the description down below for that sprinkler irrigation head repair video. It was really good. You can go get a couple parts at your local Site One or a Home Depot. I think they don't sell consumer or pro end sprinkler heads that a lot of you guys have told me. I go to an irrigation supply place down the road, so that's where we get ours. But it's not a bad idea to keep a couple mist heads with you, maybe a flat shovel or a spade. That way you can dig a little hole out there if you need to just replace a head. Usually you can unscrew the thing right off of the line. You can screw it right back in. It does take a little bit of skill, but it's a really good skill to learn. So anyway, that's it. A little bit lengthy of an FAQ video, but hopefully this one helps you guys out. I thought it was a timely seasonal video, so let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys enjoyed this one, shoot it a big thumbs up. By the way, if you guys want to check out more FAQ videos, we got them right here, so you guys can check that out. If you guys want to check out some other fun videos, we got them over here. All right, guys, over and out. Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Do you guys take responsibility for sprinkler heads? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it your fault, your responsibility, or do you guys tell the customer that it's their job to get those irrigation sprinklers working correctly? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.